Before there was City Tunnel, there was Williams Creek, which used to run up Elizabeth Street. It was used basically as people just chucked all their crap in there. It was disgusting. There was sewerage, there was all kind of stuff. In 1882, the council put £40,000 aside to start building City Tunnel. In 1988, we saw an article in the paper about the tunnel getting a 104-year service. Ron Stewart was in charge of that. They had these gates that from above you could pull a chain and open them. I think because there were two tunnels, they could divert the water from one side to another. I think there's a photo here of Wes holding one. I'm not even sure if they exist anymore. I noticed some of Ath's photos. You can see where they used to be, but maybe they took them away. At this stage, the cave clan wasn't going really well. I've mentioned it in other videos. And then, other groups started coming along. So our first exploration of City Tunnel on January 31st, 1988 was with the tunnel team. Barnsey, Sandman, Cannibal, Gilligan, Drain Dwellers, Cobra from the Drain Dwellers, and then Cave Clan. Yeah, so there was 3 exploring groups there. So, it was a big thing. You probably think, why did you have to wait for an article in the newspaper to find out about it? There was no footbridge crossing the Yarra there. There was no bike track or walking path along the river. It was just bush. And on the other side, there was no south bank. It was like the old Allen's factory. It was all industrial. So you couldn't, unless you went past on a boat. But we basically had to run across the Sandringham line platform. As you can see in the photos, the tunnel was just the red brick arch. The rectangular entrance was only put in when they put the footpath in.
They say the teenagers are fools playing a dangerous and potentially deadly game. Martin King reports.
It wasn't long before we started getting publicity. We did the current affair story in there. Although we didn't mention where it was a lot of it was filmed in there.
Welcome to the subterranean world of the Cave Clan, a gung-ho group of young men whose home away from home is Melbourne's underground tunnel system.
But we haven't got up to Burke Street. Well, how far down do you want to go? Do you want to go down to Collins Street?
The gang is highly organised, and its members use detailed maps which allow them to invade the entire city and suburban underworld.
Amateurs sometimes get hassled.
25 underground explorers have been found well and truly off the beaten track, winding up in the Yarra River after getting stuck in a city stormwater drain. Maggie Rayworth tells us the soggy group was greeted by scores of police when they finally emerged from the deep.
Instead of making tracks, these underground explorers just made a scene.
Oh, that same as you, mate?
Around 25 urban voyagers were pulled from the Yarra River. The rescue unfolding in front of a popular night spot. One by one, they emerged from the drain opening, taking the road less taken. The group got a slap on the wrist.
But how we used to do it was professional. Like, you have not seen professional urbex like us using our pulley system. It was similar to watching Navy SEALs train.
Yeah, great, I'll grab it. I've got the string down.
String. Oh no.
There you go, it's up there now. It's on the other end.
He's got it. Put it over here. It's around the pole.
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Get low. That's one of those bloody science fiction movies. I know.
But yeah, a lot of people want to do it. It's actually a risky drain because it's hard to get out of. I actually don't recommend you doing it. It's tidal, and because it's so much concrete, I know a lot of city drains like that, but it floods so quickly. because it's got the balloon-shaped pointed bottom, it doesn't take much water till you're finding it hard to stand up. And it's really only a couple of different shapes. Like if you walked in for the first 40 or 50 metres, you've seen most of it. There's a couple of little features. But anyway, it's one of the drains people hassle me most about. And I just say you shouldn't be going into it anyway. But for those that do go in anyway, yeah, be careful. I don't recommend it. Yeah, manholes are all in the road. So if you need to get out urgently, most of the manholes that we used to get out of have been replaced with big ass ones. People will always see you, so you're normally going to get hassled by the police, unless you're like us, sort of ninja-like how we are in this video here. At first, the drain went from the GPA to the river, then later from Victoria Street. Nowadays, I've got this nightclub thing right next to it, so it's a lot harder to get into. Okay, I've got no idea how that went. If you want me to do more of these, let me know. They're easy to do. Oh, there's Wes and I doing a bit of a dance. Do, 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 do. That's what we're actually dancing to, Jure. But I don't know if they're very entertaining. I could find ones that have more interesting stories. Anyway, have a good New Year's, everyone. See ya.
What was that drain like, Duggo?
Oh, it's pretty good. Okay, well, it was slippery.
Yeah?
That's about it.
We've had floods in the centre of Melbourne that have been awash through the streets, and they've occurred without warning, and the drains that feed to under Melbourne were overflowing to the extent that the water was spilling out into the streets. Now, if you were in the drain at that time, you would have no hope. You would be drowned.
Then, the unexpected. It's raining. Since we descended, the water level has risen markedly. It's at times like this you realise how easily a flash flood would turn a tunnel of adventure into a tomb.
It's only a matter of time before one of these people are caught in a flash flood or are asphyxiated to lack of oxygen or gas. In fact, we had a fireman caught during an exercise some years ago where a flash flood ended up drowning that fireman.